If you've ever felt constantly stressed, exhausted, and like no matter how much you rest, you never fully recover, then this video is for you. Now, here's the thing, stress is not just in your head, it's also inside the body. Every bit of stress you experience gets stored if we don't release it. And if we don't release it, eventually it will start to control us. Now, studies from Harvard Medical School show that stress physically alters our brain. It weakens our immune system and it even triggers inflammation, which is a precursor for a lot of dis-ease and illness. So not only does science prove it, I know this firsthand from my own personal experience of burning out and bombing out, and I've worked with high performers who are leaders, entrepreneurs, people who are really driven to succeed, and they all make the same mistake. They let stress stack up until it explodes. Today, I'm going to show you how to stop this cycle, how to break free from stress compounding, process stress properly, and reclaim your energy. It's likely that what you're feeling right now isn't very good because you're watching this video and you're not 100%, but please know you're not broken. You just need to complete the stress cycle and prevent it from becoming chronic. So let's get into it. So why does this matter right now? Well, we live in a world where we're pushing through stress and it's glorified. If you're not hustling, you're falling behind, right? Wrong. Every time you ignore stress, you're stacking it up. And here's the scary part. The stress that you ignored last month, it's probably still inside your system, sitting there waiting to kind of explode. And I promise you, I'm not saying that to worry you. I'm saying it to draw your attention to the reality of what's actually happening under the surface. Imagine you're carrying a backpack, right? And every stressor you experience, like an argument, a missed deadline, a bad night's sleep, or an emotional event, is like adding another rock or a brick into that backpack. Every time we feel stressed, another big heavy weight goes into that bag. And eventually your body and mind collapses under the weight. And this is why compounding stress never seems to work, because no matter how much we bring in, if we don't let it out, it will bring us down. Just think about your phone. If you never close your apps, your battery drains fast. Your brain and body work in the exact same way when it comes to stress. And this is exactly what happened to me. I compounded so much over the years and eventually burned out. I was carrying emotions from the past, stressful memories, physical stress from training too much at the time and not sleeping properly, and I was bringing it unknowingly into my work and into my relationships. And I got to the point where I wanted to take my own life. And this is what I mean by stress explosions. My mind was all over the place and my emotions, they felt out of control, and I felt really horrible inside my own body. But I didn't know then what I know now. And that's that the truth is, you don't need to eliminate all the stress from your life. You just need to know how to complete the stress cycle. We need to understand that stress is a natural response and it can be super healthy for us when it is helping us to grow, right? But the problem starts when we don't finish what our body is started. And sometimes we do this completely unknowingly because we have all of this stress that's stacked up from the past. So think of an animal in the wild, right? After escaping danger, they instinctively shake off to release stress. But us as humans, we suppress it and we get trapped, right? It gets trapped inside of our own bodies, and then we start to feel stuck. We get stressed again, and then we suppress that, and before we know it, our bodies are feeling heavy and our emotions are all over the place, and we wonder why we're not feeling fulfilled, happy, and performing at the levels that we want. It's because we've been stacking up and compounding stress over long periods of time without completing the stress cycle. So here's what to do right now. The first step is always to check in with the body and scan your body for stress signals. And for you, this might be checking in to see, where do you feel tense? Are your shoulders tight? Is your jaw clenched? Is your heart beating quickly? Do you have butterflies in your tummy? Do you feel heavy? Is there tingling? Can you notice that perhaps maybe your temples are really quite tight, or we're squinting because we've got all these thoughts going on in our mind? The key here is to listen to your body, because your body is always talking to you. So start listening. Now, once we recognize what's going on in the mind, we want to then complete the stress cycle. Now, this basically means we need to let this energy go. We need to feel the body relax. We need to open the body. We need to move it. Maybe you feel like you need to move it gently and to stretch it and to really restore some of the mobility you have in your body. Maybe you feel like you've got some pent up energy that needs to be let go of. Then go for that run or do something like dance and listen to some music, anything that will let this energy go. And that will be intuitive to you. And when you start listening, you'll start to sort of hear what it is that is what you need, right? But here's two things that typically help most people. And the first one is sometimes moving that energy out of our head, and so that we can actually then pay attention to the body. It's almost like quieting the noise like in our mind before we can drop into the body. And that's what we would call like a brain dump. So that might mean journaling and writing down all of the things that are stressing you out, or just writing about your days and just recognizing some of those little trigger points. Or it might even be talking to somebody. So we have a brain dump by verbally talking and saying out loud to a loved one or a friend, or even on a voice note on your phone. Once we've quietened that noise of kind of the thinking behavior that's kind of stuck maybe in the mind, we can then move into like a breath dump. And that is where we are basically doing a big sigh, right? We basically take an inhale and we just let it all out of our mouth, right? Inhale and exhale. What this does, this deep sigh, is it signals your nervous system to release stress. Another way to do this as well is to yawn. Simply just allow yourself to, right? Just allow yourself to have a big yawn. That sends this wonderful signal to your body to say it's okay, we can recover now, we can let go of all of this pent up energy. So remember this, stress is not the enemy. Compounding it and stacking it is. If you don't complete the stress cycle, it will control you. But if you release it daily, ideally, you'll unlock more energy and more clarity and even more health than you ever have before. If you liked this video and you found it useful, then please obviously like it and subscribe, but more importantly, please share it with someone who you feel perhaps needs to see it. If you want to go deeper into stress stacking and what it's all about, I highly recommend you watching this video. It explains how stress stacking is a bottleneck to progress with health and happiness, how to grasp the difference between unhealthy and healthy stress, as well as long-term and short-term solutions to overcome it. And if you're feeling stressed up to your eyeballs, or if you want to boost your own performance, then really watch it sooner rather than later. Okay, I promise you it is gonna be really useful. Until then, be well, and I look forward to hearing any kind of thoughts or feedback you have in the comments. I'm more than happy to answer them. All right, be well, see you soon.
If you enjoyed this episode and you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode.
Then share it with a friend who you think might benefit.
Spread the word. That's how we're going to impact the world, by helping each other.
We appreciate you so much, and as always, unconditional love and wellness to you.